Welcome to OAC Vancouver's podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We believe that Jesus is needed and relevant for people in Vancouver today. The message of God's love and promise of wholeness was destined to be experienced within a faith community that worships, studies scripture, and prays together. We warmly welcome you to journey with us towards greater connection, purpose, and peace. We'll be sharing our recorded services and conversations with health and wellness experts. Enjoy.
So, today is another My Story interview. Yay! And I'm so excited to be joined by Leanne.
Hello.
I feel like some of you may know Leanne, maybe you don't. By the end of this conversation, you're going to know a lot more about her. But you may be sort of looking and being like, why is there a giant Connect 4 part of our discussion? And if you aren't wondering that, maybe you are, let me tell you. So sometimes it can be very intimidating to sit here in front of all of you. And while there are lights and I can vaguely see you, I can see the whites of your teeth as you smile at me. And sometimes, just to break up the conversation, we thought, why not play a game of Connect 4 in between the questions and the discussion? So I am the yellow tokens.
And I'm red because I go fast.
Yeah, okay, no pressure. I haven't had time to think of my strategy. Like you see, there's a little bit of pre-gaming that has happened here, and I've been told that it's equal, and I've been told that it is fair, and I'm highly competitive. Are you competitive?
Yes.
This should be fun.
It will be fun.
Okay, so before I ask you the first question, I think you should place one. I want to see how you play. Okay. See that? I'm on my way.
This was not fair, and I know it wasn't. I could tell at first glance that it was not done fairly. So whoever did that, you need some education, come see me later and I'll help you.
Wait. Oh, I see what you're saying. Do you know what? Out of fairness, so the game doesn't end before we start. Let's just move this around. Can we move this around? You got a spare one? How does this work? Okay, so while we're looking at this, while we're fighting with our Connect 4, could you tell me something like, if you could have an unlimited supply of anything in your life, what would it be? Oh, thank you. Unlimited supply of anything. Fun?
Just fun.
What's fun for you? Because to me, you're always so energetic. You're so smiley and warm. So what is your version of fun?
I think it's just bringing the fun out of anything and everything that you see. Having fun here, playing a game. Who would have thought that Connect 4 was going to be in church today? Put your hand up if you thought this was going to happen today. No one. One person? A few. But how many of you are now having oh, this is fun? See, more hands are going up. So bringing fun to anything and everything that you do, whether it be playing a game, whether it be writing a silly note to someone, or whether it just be smiling and sticking your tongue out at someone, that brings fun to people too, at the appropriate time, guys.
So you have a fun and silly sense of humor. I feel this is why we get along. I feel like your sense of silly talks to my sense of silly.
Yeah, I can be very sarcastic too, extremely sometimes.
Really?
Yes.
See, I'm going to have to watch out for that. I'm a little slow on the humor front.
Okay, I'll turn it down for you.
Yeah, thank you. But I love that. I love that you can have fun anywhere. Simple things, just even going to the grocery store. I love when you go into the stores and you hear the music going. I'm a classic dance in the aisles kind of person. Do you do a little shoulder, a little two-step in the aisle?
I was born with two left feet. I can't dance.
There is no dancing happening in Superstore for you.
No. I do dance, but it's not as good as others.
Okay.
But I was born with two left feet, but it doesn't stop me. Okay, just because I can't do it doesn't mean I won't do it. I just do it and other people laugh.
See, that's that fun. Look at you.
Yep.
Okay, so I have another question for you. What's the best thing that you've crossed off your bucket list?
Oh, so I had two things that I really wanted to do when I was younger. And one thing was I wanted to go to New Zealand, and the other thing was I wanted to go to Canada.
Really?
Yeah, so there were two places in the world that I wanted to visit, and I'd been to Fiji and Tasmania, even though it's part of Australia. I'll say I went to Tasmania because you have to fly a plane to get there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not attached. It's separate.
Did anyone else know that? Are we having a geography lesson together today?
You can Google map it later. So yeah, I always wanted to come to Canada, and I always wanted to go to New Zealand. And I've been to Canada, and I've never been to New Zealand still.
Isn't it funny how when you live closer, because you are originally from Australia,
Yes.
if the accent didn't give it away. And it's funny how when you live close to something, you don't necessarily see it when it's on your, I mean, not to say it's on your doorstep, but New Zealand feels pretty close to Australia.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd never been on a plane until I was like 18 years old either. So I'm a road trip person, not a plane trip person.
Okay.
So I don't know. It just wasn't something that I'd done. So yeah.
All right, something. So you made it to Canada. How long have you been in Canada?
I've been in Canada, I think 7 or 8 years now, but I came to Canada maybe 17 years ago. I can't remember. Just for 1 year on a working visa.
Oh, I didn't realize. So we've been in Canada almost the same amount of time. Okay. I didn't realize. I just always assumed that you'd been here forever and ever and always.
When I came here for a year, I kind of then kept coming back every 6 or 12 months.
Okay.
I kind of found myself a guy.
Oh,
So I kept coming back. So I kind of was always here just once or twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
There was a reason to keep returning.
There was.
Until it was here permanently.
Yes.
Well, we're glad you're here permanently. Now, this is a really big question. I feel that we should I see a move I really want to make. And I'm going to keep it open because I want to see what kind of, what your sports spirit is like.
That was a bad move.
I feel that. But I want to see.
I'll be kind. It's our first game together.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we'll see how much, maybe we should pray before we. I'm just joking. Okay, final question for you. Finish this sentence.
Okay.
Potatoes are best served.
In any form, especially deep fried or in a hash brown.
Hash brown. Oh, I hear a cheer over there.
Do you know what a hash brown is?
I do.
Like the patty hash browns.
I have mixed feelings about them. It depends on the day.
Okay.
I don't like shredded potato.
No, not but they're in a patty. They're not like loose
the patty ones, like
patty ones, like you get from McDonald's.
Okay.
The patty ones, they have to be the patty ones.
They're pretty good.
Not the shredded, loosey, fly around your patty ones, no. But the best way, you can't really get them here in Canada because they have fries. I prefer chips, which are thick chips, like fish and chips, like the real fat potatoes, deep fried.
This is where I felt we could bond, as like an Australian, a Brit. Potatoes feel like a safe conversation.
Is rice? No, potatoes.
Will it make me nicer to you in this game? No, but I'm glad we found sort of like common ground. So part of your playfulness, I would assume, is because you are a teacher.
Potentially, but I think before I was a teacher, I was pretty fun as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I just grew up having fun and, I don't know, just kept having fun, never stopped.
Is that sort of like your family dynamic growing up, like lots of laughter, everyone, like people joking, or is that more your personality?
I think my dad's a bit of a joker.
Okay.
But yeah, there was lots of laughter, lots of fun, but also lots of fighting and screaming. Like we were normal.
Normal family stuff.
A normal family, fighting, screaming. Like I've done some horrible things that I might shock you right now. Mum's probably watching, but I chopped my mum's finger off once. Only once.
Like accidentally? Like, yes, I would assume accidentally.
I did it
that
in
feels like a
anger.
rhetorical question.
In anger. I did it in anger. She chased me down the hallway. I slammed the door and off with her middle finger, just the tip of it. I know. I felt really horrible, but now I can laugh and joke about it. And then even when I went away on a trip, I bought one of those fake fingers with a bandage and I brought it home for her as a joke. And she laughed. She wasn't upset. She laughed. So,
Yeah. I feel like that's super refreshing to hear. I feel like very often when it comes to family dynamics, we always want to be like, my family is completely normal and everything operates perfectly. And I think, truth be told, for most of us, we all have some sort of family dynamic. Everyone has that auntie and that uncle. Yes.
I'm that auntie.
Oh, really?
The fun one.
See, I think I've become like, I'm still in the cousin realm, but I'm like that cousin where they're like, what's happening with you?
Just show them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I need to channel more fun.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it's nice to hear that we all come from sort of a very, like a standard family background, but there's always ups and downs. There's always different parts that shape us.
Yeah.
And would you say that, like, are there any teachers in your family? Did that shape you going into teaching, or was that just kind of a side?
I don't know why I went into teaching. I think like I'd always had fun doing things. I did have a fun like elementary teacher. And I went to a small school. There was 2 teachers and 50 kids from kindergarten to grade 6. Yeah. Wow. So like it was a small school. Like I didn't live in a big city. I was a little country bumpkin from a little island, River Island, blink and you miss it. And like, yeah, I had a fun elementary teacher, and I don't know, I've just had fun things in my life.
Was school always fun for you? Like, were you one of those kids who enjoyed school, or not so much?
It was okay. It was something we did. I had friends, and yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad, but like I enjoyed it. But there was also teachers I didn't like at school. So I guess maybe I wanted to make sure that other kids didn't get teachers like them. So I was like, cool, what can I do?
Okay, so would you say that really is what motivates you to be a teacher?
Oh, I don't know. I think what motivates me to be a teacher is to have fun, okay, and to have an impact that is a positive impact on people's lives. Okay, so like if you have fun, you're going to remember things. More than likely. If it's not fun, if it's boring, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that again. But if you're having fun, you're like, yeah, that was fun. Let's do that again. So I don't know. I just like to have fun. And like kids, because when they learn things, they're like amazed by it because it's their first time learning it. They're like, yes, this is great. Or their eyes open wider and they're like, yes. And then when they're learning things, they're getting things, oh, I did it. They get excited. Where adults are a bit boring when they learn something new. They don't get as excited. They're kind of like, oh, yeah, I did that.
I think that's such as you're speaking, I'm thinking back to my own personal school experiences. And I'm trying to think like, because I didn't love school. It was sort of that neutral place for me of like, okay, yes, we have to go every day. There is no choice in this. But also like, I know some of us, school wasn't always the greatest place to be. Kids are complicated, but, little people, big feelings. But when I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, who stands out in my mind? And I remember my geography teacher, she was fun. Like the classes where fun was involved and lightness. And those were the subjects that were the most enjoyable. I don't know if you're thinking back to school, like what comes to mind? Are you thinking of a fun teacher or are you going to a different place? I don't know. Think about that. Feedback at the end. So how do you bring fun into your classroom? What does that look like?
It can look like many things. It could look like dressing up as something. It could look like just jumping up and being excited at the beginning of a lesson to get their like engagement. It can look like holding information back from them so that they wonder what's going to come next kind of thing. So there's many ways to bring fun into it. It could be a game. that you play, okay? There's many ways to bring fun into the lesson. So, yeah, I do lots of different things, like, yeah.
See, like, can I be a kid in your class? It just sounds, I don't know. There's so much in childhood, and I think almost what I hear you saying is there's things that you wish maybe that you would have had in school, like in your school experience, and you're bringing that to the kids who you're teaching. And I think it's so important because you spend so much of the school day with your teacher. Sometimes you spend more of the day with your teacher than with your parents, depending on what like that family and home life dynamic looks like. How do you manage the weight of that responsibility?
I would say with one word, respect. Everyone within the class needs to respect everyone. You don't have to like them. You don't have to be best friends with them, but you have to respect them. So you have to show respect to everyone and just enjoy yourself there. Like, you can't go home. You got to stay there. So if you are respectful to everyone and everyone's respectful to you, it makes a more enjoyable environment for you to be around. So the number one thing that I always try to do with all my classes is like respect is a big thing. And like, I'm not the teacher that says you have to be best friends or friends with everyone in your class. You don't have to be friends with everyone in your class because guess what? In the workplace, you're not going to be friends with everyone in your workplace.
Oh, that's very true.
So, but you have to respect everyone in the workplace. So you have to respect everyone in the classroom.
It's almost like, I guess, instilling empathy within these like little hearts and little minds because you never really know what someone's going through.
True.
I know. I feel like when you were growing up, did you feel understood like by your peers?
No, I wouldn't say I felt understood by my peers. I would say like, I don't know. I grew up in a very small community. So like everyone was very different, I feel. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I felt understood. But it didn't stop me. I still did what I wanted to do. Like,
so you just confidently sort of like, okay, no one really gets me, but here I go.
I didn't think I needed to feel understood to be able to have confidence to do what I wanted to do. If I wanted to do something, then I could do it. As long as I did my best at it, then just do it.
I love that mindset. I think there's so many of us who are different, who navigate space, and growing up where we do feel as though we don't fit in and we don't necessarily have a place.
So, but like, I was extremely shy growing up. I wouldn't talk to adults, but I feel that I still did things. I feel like it didn't hold me back unless I had to talk to people. Okay. So I really didn't like talking to people, but then like I changed. And now I have to talk to good people.
You have to talk to me today. We got at least another 10 minutes to go.
Oh, well, I've got some tricks up my sleeve to get us through, don't worry. But like I was super shy when I was a little kid. And then as I grew older, I became less shy. And like some people that didn't know me when I was a kid and when they know like how out there I can be now and how full on, they're like, shy? No way. It's like, well, yeah, I was. So I think I didn't use up all that fun and that outness there. And we're given a certain amount. And so I'm like, I've got to use it up now. So I just start using it.
Now.
Yeah.
See, I think as well, there's something nice about, changing space and location. Because especially when you grow up in smaller communities or, you think back to your childhood church, you've grown up and everyone knows you. But then when you move somewhere new, like you've moved here to Canada, OAC is somewhere you've been able just to be a new, I don't want to say a different version, because I feel like as people, we're very multi-layered. Because I would say that yes, I've experienced a very confident and outspoken version of you. But when you mention now sort of like, oh, I was very shy as a child, I can also be like, oh, I think I can see some of those elements still exist.
Oh, yeah.
but just in different ways, you know? And I think there's something really refreshing about coming into a space where no one has like a history of you.
A clean slate.
That's how it feels. I think you grow up in, I think this is a very transient community. I think there's a lot of us who have chosen to be here, and we don't necessarily have the history of people knowing us as kids or teenagers. And I think especially in church environments where you're learning you're exploring your spirituality, and you're learning what faith and looks like and who you want to be as a person. And I think there's something very refreshing about spaces that either embrace you in that journey, but also spaces where you can just come and start fresh.
Yeah. And also, like, the person that you were back then is not the person you are now, because you're always developing and growing. And if you make a mistake back then, it shouldn't be something that people hold against you now. If you've overcome that and you've gone further, you've learned mistakes.
Exactly. I think it's almost just like the challenge. I don't want to say challenge either. I think just learning to be more open and receptive. I think we go through life and we have different experiences, and we have different experiences with people. And I don't are you someone who holds a grudge?
To a certain degree, I can hold a grudge, a very good grudge. But I try not to hold grudges. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would say that I do hold grudges, but not to the extent where I let it get down anymore. I've learned that there's no point doing that because it doesn't actually help. Mm-hmm. So I try and just like avoid that person or move on and get on with life. There's no point.
Yeah. I think I have a hard time sometimes in just recognizing that a situation or person I knew, let's say in 2006, could be a very different person and situation in 2025.
Yeah, that's hard, especially if they've hurt you in a way that you've held a grudge against them, and then now they're like claiming that they're this wonderful person.
Or just different. It is very hard. It is very hard. And I think, again, that's especially in faith environments, that's where I have to really work on like trying to be gracious, you know, and really it's like putting faith into like practical lived action.
Yeah, that's challenging sometimes. Definitely.
Do you feel that when you like working with children gives you hope for the future?
Yeah, I would say so. The thing is, as long as I can make a positive impact on them so that they can be open-minded about how they're going to react to situations that they come across in life, that gives me hope. Because there's some people that were never taught how to react to situations and how to handle themselves when they were kids, and then they take that into adulthood and they don't make amazing adults, they make not so good adults. And so if you can start it from the bottom up and give them the tools that they need to succeed at being a great human when they're younger, so then when they get older, it's like, yeah, they make a better place in this world, better person for the place. So yeah.
So I guess in some ways the school environment is like your mission field. Do you see it that way, or do you frame it differently in your mind?
I've never thought of it that way, but yeah, definitely. But like, yeah, I don't know. I've never thought that I'm on a mission, so to speak. But yes,
I can imagine being around children, you know, there must be so much you learn from them, or just perspectives that shape how you, I don't know, I'm assuming, but shape how you see the world and how you interact with others.
I see the world as fun. So, and I think in everything, I just try and have fun with it. So if we're like, and I think it's happening in the classroom, I try and input some elements of fun. Yes, sometimes I still am boring, but there are fun bits that do happen. But like kids enjoy having fun. Kids like doing things, hands-on things. So I just try and do those things that they enjoy. So like I definitely try and cater my classroom definitely towards the kids and what would be the most enjoyable thing for them, as well as for me as a teacher that has to teach this. So if it means that I get to have fun too, then it's a win-win for both of us.
I love that. I think one thing about OAC that I think is super special is the importance that we put on families and on our children's ministries, because even, in scripture, the importance given to children, the time that Jesus took with children. And I think that it's a beautiful thing. It's not always easy. What is one thing that you're involved with children's ministries here at OAC. What's one thing that you love about being able to be involved in that?
Oh, I don't know. It just comes back down to that 3-letter word of fun. It just means that I get to have more fun with kids again and like have an impact on their lives, hopefully a positive one. Because it's just like if they don't have something, then they've got nothing. So wouldn't you rather give them something and give them a little bit of fun as to them not having anything, if you have the opportunity to do that?
And I guess not only are you presenting fun, but you're also, presenting Jesus and relationship with God as something that is fun, as something that is personable, and it can be exciting. And, there's so much within scripture that, what if we were to approach, imagine if we were to open up our Bibles right now, and instead of approaching it with sort of like adult mindset and just like, I'm going to read my Bible now. What if we were to approach it with a childlike?
Okay. So what you'd need to do is I want everyone to find how many times in the Bible does it say sneeze?
Sneezes?
Yes. How many times in the Bible are sneezes mentioned? Is it mentioned? Is it not mentioned? Do you know?
I don't know. My default is like, it doesn't say sneezes in the Bible, but I don't know that for sure.
I challenge you, it does.
It does?
Yes.
Did anyone else know this? Okay. But again, I like this idea of fun, and not in terms of we're not taking it seriously. I don't think we're talking about we're not taking our faith journey seriously or spirituality. But I like to think that if Jesus were here in the room with us, if we were having conversation with him, that it would be light and it would be fun and super personal, and that he would be sort of like in kids' church, running around and laughing and joking with the kids.
Yep, I'd say so.
So what is something that you would love to see in church environments to make it more fun, more accessible?
Ooh. I don't know. Maybe more Connect 4 games at church.
More Connect 4. We did get distracted. We haven't finished our game.
I think just like for me, I just want things to be fun. And that's just me, but I know not everyone is like me. Mm-hmm. So we need to have a balance of things, because sometimes I can be too much, and I know that. So we need other people that aren't as out there to kind of balance things so that we're not going lopsided one way or the other. So I don't know, just have fun, be open-minded, realize that everyone's on a different journey, but we all have the same focal point.
I love that. And that's so true, because yes, I feel like fun has been the word of our conversation, but it's also a way that we connect with each other and that we break down some of the barriers that exist between us. I mean, we were both a little nervous this morning getting up here, and having fun has made, conversation easier. And I think even in our journeys of exploring faith, in getting to know God, like, he's a holy God, he's a God who wants relationship, all these things. But how often do we think of him as a fun God? A God who is laughing with us,
Probably not enough.
Yeah. And I feel that's where probably, and you probably see more of it, working with children, just that childlike innocence and that ease of laughter and the playfulness. And I'm sure you've heard some interesting things in kids' church.
Yeah.
And ideas. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, now my brain is like, what's the cutest and funniest thing, like, you've heard a kid say in terms of their understanding of God?
I don't know off the top of my head, because I'm a bit of a goldfish sometimes, so I don't remember everything. But there's definitely been moments where kids say things and you're like, what? That's actually really cool. But yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Maybe I should start writing it down.
Yeah.
There's definitely been moments where kids have opened my mind as to the way they see things and from their perspective of things. So yeah.
Okay. So as we sort of wrapping up our conversation, I'd love for you to imagine right now that this is just a giant classroom filled with kids. Okay. And everyone is...
Stop picking your nose. Wash your hands. Put your hand up if you want to talk. Yeah?
So imagine this is a classroom full of kids. How would you like to encourage your classroom today?
Okay, so today I challenge each one of you children to go out there and make a difference in someone's life in a positive way. Okay, just 1%. Okay, if you can change someone's life by 10%, great. But I'm only asking you to do 1% change. Okay, so go out there, talk to someone, be nice to someone, do something kind, have something fun, play a card game, make someone laugh. Just change someone's life in a positive direction by 1%. And then out of if there's 100 of us here, then that's 100% anyway. But if you only change 1% going in a positive direction, you've made a difference. Okay, so no matter how small the change, the difference is there, and it can grow and then get bigger and bigger and bigger. So change just 1% in a positive way.
Leanne, you're amazing. We are super, super thankful. Not only there are so many ways that you serve in this. Wow. I was being really nice.
I won. I already got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect 4.
Wow, I did not see that coming. But we are really thankful for you and how you serve this community, and fun. Do you know what? I am so thankful for the reminder today that our faith journey can be fun, that we can make a difference in having fun, and just learning a little more about how you embrace everything that is beautifully and wonderfully made about you. And you use that to make a difference in the 1% that you get to meet.
But I have one thing to say. So when you first asked me about this, I have had a request, didn't I? What was my request for coming up here?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Blue M&Ms.
Yes.
I forgot the blue M&Ms. But you won the game, so I think we're even.
But yeah, I had one request that if I was to do this, you had to supply blue M&Ms.
I would like to commit in front of our church family that I will bring blue M&Ms to church with me.
For everyone?
Not us. I will bring blue M&Ms with me the next time I'm here.
It's okay. But and just want to hold you accountable. But
I appreciate that. And thank you again for a fun conversation. We hope that you have a fun week. And like Leanne said, find a way to positively impact that 1%. Approach your devotion and reading scripture and time with God with a sense of fun. He's a fun God. He's a loving God. He's kind. He's our champion, but he's also fun.
Thank you for listening to OAC Vancouver's podcast. Learn more at oacvancouver.ca. If you're in Vancouver, join us for worship Saturdays at 11 a.m. at 5350 Bailey Street. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. God bless you and have a wonderful day.